chat while nobody's watching. Let's see. I can never tell when it goes live because there is a.
There it is.
It seems like a 4-section delay. Oh, you can tell.
Well, I get the notifications when you
Oh, you
post.
get
So
the notification. What's going on, everybody? This is another episode of Junkyard Breaks Live with my buddy Jason. Say hello, Jason.
what's up? What's up, YouTube?
So we were just what were we talking about?
Kind of talking about books we're buying, new books that we're buying.
Yeah. I have some mail call stuff. I've been getting some cool things.
Yeah, let's do it.
Have you bought anything or no?
I have not. I am actually. So I'm, for those of you who don't know, I'm in Central Pennsylvania. So I live in State College, Pennsylvania. So a little bit of a void here as far as LCSs are concerned. I have two.
Yeah, they're
Basically,
alright too, right?
45 miles, there's only two
Yeah.
comic shops. So one of which basically has like two short boxes of back issues, and that's it. And one of which is kind of hit or miss, random, odds and ends from collections the guy buys. So
Yeah.
not a lot of so it's a lot of searching. But this Saturday, I'm going on a full day run on Saturday.
To a comic store or to a flea market?
No, just basically heading out towards Pittsburgh. Gonna hit up lots of flea markets,
Good.
lots of antique shops. That's basically, as you well aware,
I've
that's
gone to a flea market in so long. I haven't walked a flea market in forever. I can't.
I mean, you've sold at a flea market
Yeah,
often, but
like,
right?
when you set up at 6:15
Yeah.
a.m. and you pack up
Yeah.
at 3 and you're the only one there, I can't even
Right.
leave the table. So yeah,
Right.
it's pretty brutal. All that good stuff surrounding me, and I can't even go look.
Yeah, so it's few and far between, but that's essentially what I'm getting out. For the most part, unless it's a book I really believe in and I can really judge condition, I'm not pulling the trigger on eBay. Obviously, when I'm flipping, I'm looking to make as high a margin as I possibly can. That's
Yeah.
the reason to actually do the flip versus collect for yourself.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
So that's
I finally bought something on one of my auction sites, first time in a long time, because I feel like everybody knows about it now, so there's no bargains.
right.
So yeah, I did finally find something, but it's not a comic and it's not a baseball card, so or a sports card. It's just a weird buy.
There you go.
This I got it's a maybe signed by Russell Westbrook. Sports
Oh, wow.
Illustrated for kids. Maybe signed. It does have a stamp of authenticity, but you know how authentic that is.
Right.
There's
Right.
a chance here, but it was $4.
That's a
So,
low
and
buy-in.
everybody knows Sports Illustrated for kids.
Yeah,
They got
cards
cards
got
in
in there.
them, and this one just happens to have decent cards too. This one's we got Russell Wilson, we got
Oh.
Tiger Woods, Maria Sharapova, Jabril Parker, and Yu Darvish.
Okay.
Jabari Parker. Stupid. But not bad.
Is that John Tavares? Is that your hockey
John
player?
Tavares, and I don't know. Is that Kristen Press? I don't know her.
Okay.
On the US
Yeah, sometimes, obviously, as you know, it's those odd sports, right? Like the
Yeah.
women's U.S. national team player that might be the thing a couple years down the road that,
Yeah, who
makes
knows?
that a home run, right?
I know. Well, it's like
Less-
that. What's that gymnast name? Simone Bales.
Mobile
Bales.
files, yeah.
Her Sports Illustrated for Kids rookie card goes for a ton of money, and that tennis girl.
Yeah.
I forgot her name. Ahsoka. Not Ahsoka. I keep thinking Ahsoka. I'm so embarrassed.
Ahsoka Tana.
Ahsoka Tana, the tennis player. No,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, anyway,
Naomi.
that's
Naomi. Yeah.
So, her rookie card's worth a bunch of money. Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
So there's that.
Yeah.
I know. I got these four for $3.
Oh, they're awesome.
That is a what do we got? Walt Bellamy. These are big guys too. Bill Bradley. That is a Jerry Lucas. And I don't know the fourth guy, Bob Weiss.
They look like they're in decent shape. Or is
No,
that
they're not.
true?
They're really
Okay,
not.
I was gonna say,
They are
is it
not.
true or is
They
it
are
just the
not in
plastic?
decent shape. No, they
Okay,
are not. In fact, Jerry Lucas is. I would probably give this thing a 2.
okay.
But either way, for $4, you got a senator, a really good. Jerry Lucas is a New York Knicks, right? He played for the Knicks.
Jerry Lucas.
Yeah,
Well, wasn't he a longtime coach as well?
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And
So it's really interesting what a new plastic over a webcam can do for condition, right?
yeah, definitely. Well, we found that out on CGC opening last week. It's
Yeah,
very hard for you
exactly.
guys to tell. Oh,
Jimmy was crushing it.
speaking of which, so for everybody watching that last video with the CGC unboxing, where 10 of 18 corners were bad. The bottom left corner was like some dude at CGC just like dropped them off a table and damaged the bottom left corner. 10 out of 18 books, and then they slabbed them. So CGC, I contacted them. I said, listen, I'm going to open up a claim here, and they sent it through their claims department, and they are actually going to take them, re-slab them, press them, and re-slab them. So, that's good and all, but one, should have never happened in the first place, and two, because of Killing Joke and Dark Knight Returns, they're done. They're done.
Right?
Yeah, they're absolutely done. You cannot fix that corner on those types of comic formats. It's done. What's up, Joe? Joe says hi. He says, "What's up, guys?"
So yeah, I mean that's an interesting solution, right? Because it's like, okay, so you're going to crack them and reslab them. Are they going to take priority, or is it going to be another
No,
3 months?
I think it'll be a priority because they have me putting they have me have markings all over the box.
Okay.
So it will be taken in as a priority, I guess.
But to your point, are they gonna honor the insurance for the two books? I mean, there's
Well, I
there's
think
nothing.
they're honoring, instead of paying out the insurance, they're going to press them and reslab them. Will they ever get back to a 9.6, 9.8? I hope so. That's going to be another fun unboxing because we'll know what it was and what it came back as.
So
I think
since
some
you're
of them
not
are pressable. I think so.
since you're not cracking them, what do you have the invoice? Is the grades on the invoice?
Michael's got the invoice and he's
Okay.
gonna, yeah.
Okay, it'd be interesting to have Mike on if we do an unboxing again to have him on the call as well.
Well, looking back to me, but yeah, he can definitely be involved. I know his son really liked the video we did, even though you're not there
Right.
and you're trying to grade something through a camera, through a plastic, through a plastic slab. Yeah, it wasn't ideal for you guys to play a guessing game.
That is so unfortunate too because Killing Joke and Dark Knight are such gorgeous books, and
They were
with that
perfect too.
that
Like she
gloss.
kept saying, "Did you take pictures?" I said, "Listen, lady. I mean, they were 9. I mean, I would have done a oh my God, what's it called when you put in a say that again?
Pre-screen.
Yeah, pre-screen. Thank you. My brain's not working. I would have done a pre-screen on all of them for a 9.6. They were definitely that good.
Yeah.
And that Dark Knight Returns and the Killing Joke, if there were minor defects or a scratch or something, they came back a 9.6, but they were 9.8s all the way. Everything in that collection was a 9.8. It was solid.
Yeah. One of the books, which was the book that came back like an 8.5? One of the books.
It was valid though. That was first Gambit, and it had red all over, or was the first Cable? It had red all over the back, like this really misprinted red splotch on the back.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it probably would have taken it down.
Okay.
It wasn't clean.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah. Like you said, it's real disheartening if you think it's illegitimate, right? Because and is it really? I mean, I guess the question is it on the consumer now, the customer, to take pictures of their books prior to putting them? And what does it have to be? Does it have to be a continuous video showing you taping the box closed? Because
if I were CG or if I were an up-and-coming grading company, I think, but I don't know because they're grading a lot of stuff. I think I would take a picture, cover and back of every single book that came through, just so I know this is how I received it, and this is how, because Or why would you do that? Because you're kind of holding yourself responsible. You know,
Sure.
that's just a level of accountability on a company that maybe they don't want that. Maybe they're like,
Right.
it's easier to just put it on the customer.
Right.
I mean, how many times would somebody complain about something and then they just never follow through, and they're like, "Oh, well, he just disappeared, and never nothing never happened."
Yeah.
I can imagine
It-
that happening 8 times out of 10, where they just don't follow through, or it's just too much of a hassle, or they didn't
yeah.
know they could in the first place. I mean, I just happened to catch a Reddit thread where a guy's like, "I had this problem, and I know for a fact that CGC won't accept anything in a damaged box. So therefore, I would assume that something happened between them receiving it and them grading it.
Right.
Like somebody going whoops and 10 books fall on the floor and bam, right on that same corner.
Right.
So, it's just safe to assume that, the accountability lies on whoever graded them. I mean, they were quick to say, yeah, send them up, we'll reslap them.
Right.
I would rather that than get insurance back.
Yeah.
Because Michael, on some level, was happy with 9.2s. I was not. They had a corner. I know even if they pressed it, it's coming back a 9.4, 9.6.
Well, certainly. I mean, if it's for his PC, that's one thing. But
I think his ultimate goal was to resell too.
but if it's for resale,
But he doesn't
every
have a lot into him either. So
right.
you know.
Yeah, but it's the same thing, right? So it's like if I had, let's say I have $10 into a book, right, and I know in the 9.8, if with my investment, it's a $800 book.
Mm-hmm.
There's between 9 and 9.8. What is there? $650 worth of value. So there was a ton of money to be left on the table. It's the difference between
a 9.6 and a 9.8. It could be fourfold.
Yeah.
It could be a 3x,
Right.
4x, sometimes a
Right.
5x. I mean, it
So,
depends. Like, you get some of those black covers. The difference between a 9.6 and a 9.8 is tremendous.
right.
Those hard to grade books.
Because I'm thinking about that. Obviously, you submitted my Daredevil 9, my first Echo, right, for me, and I got that at a yard sale, right? I got it for $10, and it looks like it has 9.8 potential. I'm not going to be incredibly disappointed if it's not a 9.8, because I did get it for $10. But
and that's kind of where that's because we're not. We're not very Gary. I'm not buying a collection for $5,000.
Right,
so
right.
When I pay $5 a book, put $30 in it to get fast tracked and slabbed, getting $80 for it and doubling my money is like, okay,
yeah,
fine. Whatever.
right.
But
You just hope on those big books that where there's that huge potential that you crush it, right?
I mean,
So
I bought a 1,000-book collection where all of his books, because he used to own a comic book store. Everything went right into a bag and board. Everything was gradable. 9.4 pre-screens would have been all day long. I would have got that.
right,
But I don't have the money to do all that.
right.
It takes a lot of capital to just slab everything.
Yeah, 15 G's, right, or whatever.
If you got it, it's worth it because
Sure.
then you can resell it for that much. And some
Yeah.
of those ones that, honestly, somebody wouldn't slab to begin with, then you can claim it's a 101. It's the highest grade 9.8, because nobody else has done it. So,
Right.
there's that
Yeah.
too.
And there is there's a lot to be said for that too. And so you got to kind of take the good and take the bad. Like this collection, I'm still going kind of sorting through this collection and weeding out stuff that's kind of roached or just and unfortunately I found 5 or 6 relatively large keys that are damaged beyond the point where it's not a big enough, it's not $1,000 book, so missing a corner, it's still worth worth the money. It's an $80 book and it's missing a chunk out of the bottom of the book, and it just blows.
You didn't start putting anything on eBay yet, right? You're just the import cards. You did right.
Yeah, I did. I sold both Impel sets. So
what's up, Boom
so-
Slang?
what's that?
Man.
Yes.
Boom Slang says, "What's up, guys?"
So I got, I bought that collection for $1,200. I did about $250 from the collection at the flea market.
Yeah.
So I recouped that first $250, and then I got another 280 out of the two Impel card sets
It's
that
funny where you get money where you least expect it,
right,
especially
right.
that much.
'Cause-
So you're already a third of the way there with the most unlikely of books,
correct,
which
right?
is
Yeah,
great. That's awesome. Like you know, yeah.
and so it's to the point where, to your point, like, do I do I just pull all the the keys that are worth pulling, and then do I even bulk out like at $60 a long box, the four long boxes, just so I don't have them,
You could,
taking up space, right?
yeah.
That's something I'm considering too, because I've got probably 200 major and minor keys out of that 1,200-1,300 book collection,
Yeah, I mean,
and
since you're not a flea market guy, like even if you brought it to your brother's house and just bulk out the rest of it, and I
yeah,
can give you my guy, and he'll give you, $50 a long box, and
yeah,
you just walked away from that, which it would take you forever to piece it out on eBay, even
right,
to bulk it out. I mean, just hassling with the hassle of shipping and stuff like that. Like you don't, it's too
yeah,
much.
the funny thing is, like, to that end, I know that I could get, I know that if I've got mid grade, so like I have GI Joe, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and 8 or whatever,
But
and
that's a good bulk lot.
they're kind of mid grade. They're probably like 5.5 to 7.5
And they
books.
all newsstands too.
They're all newsstands,
I
right?
mean, you put together a 2 through 10 newsstand lot. I bet it goes a lot higher than you think it does.
And so some of those things, I think, that's worth putting together in a 5, 6, 7 book issue lot. Just being overly descriptive about the condition, right? Taking really good pictures so that the buyer has confidence in what they're buying. But yeah, there is and there's some X Force runs in there which are not great books, but they're all in great shape and they're all newsstand. And it's a book that came out in '92, so it's worth throwing together, 12 of the first 15 X Force books when they're all newsstand, right? And I have two of the first, two of the second Deadpool in that run. But then the rest of the stuff, they're dollar books. They're ASN. They're New Warrior books.
I mean,
There's
anytime somebody's got a collection, that's the first thing you tell them. Like, listen, most of this stuff's not worth anything.
right,
There's a
yeah,
couple
exactly.
books here that are worth something, and that's the ones I'm interested. But for the most part, it's like 6 long boxes of crap.
Right, yeah,
That's usually
exactly.
what it is. Anytime, because you're basically, and that's a good selling point too for you, or that's a good, as a buyer. It's like I'm taking this off your hands.
Right.
This thing is a big giant anchor. I don't want it, but I'm doing you a favor taking it off your
Yeah.
hands. Like this
I mean,
is,
that's how many times have I told you? I'm just trying to reclaim my bedroom at this point in time because
yep,
these boxes are taking up space in
sure,
my room at this point, right? So,
yeah,
do I really want to go the expense at this point of 20 cents for a bag and board to
yeah. There's that
bag
too.
and board books that I don't have an avenue to move? You
Especially
know,
what silver boards are $17 now when they used to be
yeah,
9. It's crazy,
lazy, right? Yeah. So,
crazy.
so, so let's dive into this mail call. What do we got going on?
What did I get?
Yeah.
So my buddy Alex told me about a Target restock today.
Okay.
So I did get the Target. I got two. What did I get? Two Panini Prism boxes, two blasters.
Okay. You know what's funny? I saw those at my Walmart
They're nice.
yesterday. Those and the Bowman Platinum, but I'm just not buying cards right now, so I didn't pick them up. And I probably
Yeah.
probably hit that just at the right time too.
The downside to Panini baseball is there's no logos. They don't
Well,
have the MLB. So
yeah.
they're not basketball and football is definitely the way to go there. I just knocked a bunch of stuff off. That's all right. I got some ETBs. I got two Evolving Skies, which these are always nice.
Nice.
Very cool. Find ETBs in the wild, so Pokemon is
Cool.
good.
Yeah. Cool box.
And then I got the new Celebration stuff is selling like crazy. I got a lunchbox. This has got like I think 5 blasters of Celebration, a couple of three packs of non-Celebration, but these are great. I'm
Now,
surprised I got this because they're only allowing 2 Pokemon per person, and I kind of snuck a third one in there, but oops.
Well, they
Whatever.
probably that was a launch box. It was not
It was
a
a
Pokemon.
lunchbox. It didn't even look like Pokemon. But this is some cool stuff that I got. You know I like to get weird things.
Yeah.
So I got this hobby box of Net Pro. This is
Interesting.
tennis cards.
Yeah.
This actually has Serena Williams rookie in it, Anna Kournikova's rookie in it. Actually, she's on the back. Very nice.
No shock that they put her on the box.
Of course they did. It's a very nice picture. And I think Nadal and Federer are in here too, like early. I don't know if they're rookies, but
Yeah,
early.
2003 would be really early.
Very
Nadal.
early. Yeah, and I know the Serena and a Gem in 10 goes for like $250. I got this for $70.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Not a lot of effort going into the typeface on that box. The
No,
layout.
I did not like and the card itself. Like that's a pretty poor like Franklin Gothic with
Sure.
a drop shadow and a 2-point black line around it. It's pretty awful. But anyway, do you see? I know you don't buy cards that much, but 2022 Topps design is actually really nice.
Okay, I didn't even.
Better than this last year.
Okay.
This is what else I got. This is Tour Star Series 1 Factory Set. This has got Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi's rookie in it.
Yeah.
Nice little.
Wow.
I bought this on an auction for $25, I think.
Okay, so now is it both of their rookies just because it's their first card, or is it
So
actually
it's the same thing as the '86 Michael Jordan rookie.
right? Because I would say
Yeah.
Agassi probably starting in 86,
So
87.
we all know James Worthy. James Worthy played 2 years because he was a senior when Michael Jordan was a sophomore or a freshman.
Right.
It's James Worthy's rookie because it's
Right.
the first cards. So it's Worthy's rookie, Jordan's rookie, Dominique Wilkins, Akeem Olajuwon, Barkley, Ewing,
Yeah.
Malone,
Yeah. Crazy.
Chris Mullen. Like it's
And
nuts.
it's such a dope layout on that set too. Like the
Yeah,
card.
I mean,
just
yeah,
looks
that
awesome.
card, that set. I mean, that's why those boxes go for. I think it's like they're like $300K for a wax box because
Yeah.
you're also guaranteed 2 Jordans in every box because the
Right, I
chip
mean,
list is so small.
It's a 132 card set, right? Or that's usually what the basketball sets were, 132 cards. If it's a normal wax box, you get 12 cards per pack and 36 packs. So you're talking, what is that? 360, 432 cards.
Yeah.
You could easily get 3 Jordans in
Yeah,
that.
I think if
that box.
you could luck out, and if the run is right on the top left corner, that you could get 3 Jordans in a box. Which,
But
that's,
at the same time, if it's off centered, even if it's pristine on the corners, if it's off centered,
so
what's the
there's
what's
that.
the high end
There's-
yield? 10 G's.
and
like
this is why I
at-
keep telling everybody, 300K for a wax box, or just buy the Jordan you want
Right,
if
exactly.
you can. I mean, we're talking like same thing. What would be a Jordan 9, a Jordan 10, even I don't know what Jordan 10s go for. They've come down a lot, so I haven't really been in
Yeah.
the market lately.
Yeah.
But Jordan 10s has got to be worth 2 wax boxes. Better
Yeah.
off just buying a Jordan 10.
Right.
Because you're
Yeah.
right. You may have 4 2s. I mean, you wouldn't have that low, but the centering, the cutting was hard on those. So I mean, it's realistic you'd get 4 Jordan 6s. Just
And I
because of
bought
centering.
I mean, that's a legitimate wax pack too. I mean, that's actually a wax sealed pack. So I bought I was 7 when that set came out. Like I didn't buy those, but I
Never
bought,
bought 'em.
I bought obviously Topps baseball and stuff like that. You could occasionally just have a factory pack that was crunched on the corner, and that means every single card in the pack is going to be crunched.
Yeah.
And then you're talking like just hundreds of dollars, right? Or very low thousands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's the
It's
problem.
incredible.
And there's also the Jordan sticker, which sells for a lot of money too. So that's the other one. But yeah, the legit first Jordan cards are those star cards, and I think PSA won't even grade them. They refuse to grade them.
Well, there's no printing on backs, right? Aren't they?
No, they have
I mean,
backs.
Oh, okay.
Don't they?
I thought I don't think so. I thought the concern was that they are incredibly Well, the perception is that they'd be incredibly easy
Yeah,
to
they're such low
fake.
quality that they're easy to forge.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, then you don't know what's the legit Jordan Stark. And not only that, they made a lot of different ones. There's like 5 different photo variations of the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to look, but I know that some of those star cards had no backs on them. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I know.
essentially,
I bought a fake one for $50. I came back. I was like, it's $2 card.
you're cutting the forger's work in half when
Uh
you
huh.
only print one side of the card.
True. Exactly.
These
Yep.
guys are already good to begin with, most of them, so
Yep.
they don't need the head start. You know.
I gotta show you. It might be in this drawer. I don't know if they're. Oh, they're not here. They're at my work. I did. No, they're not here. I did a bunch of cards for my buddy's 40th birthday. So I gave him I gave him Topps cards, football cards, but I duplicated a bunch of cards. It's not easy
Oh,
to do
cool.
it. It's pretty fun though.
Oh, yeah. I'm assuming the biggest challenge is just the coding, right? To get anything even remotely close to what a manufactured coating looks like on a card.
Yeah, that one I couldn't get, and they're super thick cards, so I didn't want them to get damaged. But his 40th birthday, he had the spotlight on him. He was signing autographs, which he was an autograph hound anyway. So it's kind of nice. It was a little role reversal. It's pretty cool.
That's
That was a
great.
fun
Yeah,
party.
cool.
All right, this is my. I've been hunting these lately. This is
Okay.
a comic that I've been hunting for lately. So you know how I fall into these things. And I buy a bunch of them.
Sure.
So this one is God of War
Yeah.
#1.
Right.
I'm hot on this book. I got my eye on a few of them actually. In slab 9/8 though, these things go for a ton of money, like $400 or $500. But this is a really nice near mint copy. Like he had good photos. I'm not seeing anything wrong here. I'm seeing at least a 9/6.
Now, is that an image book or
It is
who?
not an image book. It's a Wildstorm book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is a weird one. This is like the first time. Forgot who is the publisher on the Witcher book too. That's like a weird
Yeah.
one. Where
Yeah.
I would recommend that to people. But yeah, this God of War 1 is definitely a book that I'm hunting after.
Uh,
They're gonna do a movie soon, and I think this one is get it now before it gets too much.
did Danzig's label ever have any home runs on Danzig label? Because I know he has his own imprint, right? Or he's got his own.
No, not really. I know it's like him and Clive Barker was the same. Like they printed a bunch of stuff and it all kind of stayed middle of the road and nothing ever really. He's got a couple of things. I forgot what Danzig's big run was. Didn't he do something with it was what's his name? Oh my god, I can't remember the artist. Not Biz.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Um, the horror guy, right?
Yeah, the horror guy. Jimmy's a big fan of his too.
Is it huh?
Bisley.
Simon Bisley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Beasley, right? Simon Beasley, is that the
Is it
pronunciation?
Beasley?
I think it's Beasley.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, that's not my lane. So I know, for some people, it's like the same as like guys that are really into The Crow. That's not my lane. It's just,
Right.
I'm aware of those books, but not really.
It's incredible though the value on some of those Crow books, right?
Oh
It's
yeah. Oh, definitely.
something interesting. I think is right now we're seeing because of because of the Sandman show coming out and the trailers looked really good. That there's this explosion in interest in that, but I
Hmm.
think it's niche enough that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a short burst or not because, um, you know, it's enough like kind of Twin Peaksy to to
Yeah.
have this cult following, but I don't know. It's not like if you look at Invincible, the cartoon really appealed to a huge swath of individuals, people who really enjoyed the comics, people who really like kind of stylized violence, people who
I think a lot of people that found that they like Walking Dead too were like, well, what else does this guy do? And they're like, oh, because
Right.
Invincible was before that, and even before that I forgot what that was. It Battle Pope or something like that was like his first book.
Okay. Yeah,
I
it's
have to
just
look it up.
interesting because it's like, you have to think about like, um, if I'm looking at anything to spec, I just try and think about
Yeah, Battle Pope.
how big is the fandom, right? Like the cool thing I think about the Marvel universe is, and you and I have talked about this. It's like um, I've only been collecting again for a little bit, just starting, getting close to a year now, and the trends that I've seen is like the Marvel properties are global now, right? You don't have they're global properties. They're some of the biggest movies that have ever been made at this point in time, and they're not. If you look at the box office figures, if it does 700 million stateside, that means it did 1.4 billion outside of this country. And so
Yeah, what they're
you
saying now
have,
is China matches U.S. what it used to do.
yeah,
So China's an
yeah,
actual 1-to-1 match for what U.S. Because it
right.
used to be U.S. was like 70% of the box office, and now not so much.
And look at the interest in ASM 300, like German versions, Italian versions, Mexico.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know a lot of
these are
guys that try to get all the countries they can. Comic Tom
right.
even
These
had a thing
books,
where he was just trying to get all that Tomb of Dracula. He was trying to get him every country he could.
right,
I
and
do
they're
see the
books.
Spanish versions. I grab Mexican copies of X-Men and stuff, and especially
Okay,
Spider-Man. There's a toy guy at the flea market. He's got them. He sells them
okay,
for cheap too, because they're not, but they're still cool.
right. I mean, but traditionally, those are books that I think that at least U.S. audiences didn't care too much for, and then in a lot of countries, the comic books weren't accessible, but folks have a lot of money and they're looking for alternative methods of
But
investing,
but
right?
here's the thing, Jason. DC books are not doing well.
Right.
DC DC main baddies and except for Batman Rogues Gallery guys will sell all day long. But and this is where I like to go. Like nobody's talking about first appearance of Bizarro, that Superboy book. Nobody's
Right.
talking about Brainiac. Nobody's talking about like these big DC guys. I mean, Gorilla Grodd's already an expensive book, but nobody's talking about those DC books. It's so funny how there's some really major DC books and they're just not on anybody's radar. It's Marvel, 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 Marvel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It echoes the success of the film
I
franchises. I
guess, yeah.
mean, you think about like, look at me. I was a collector when I was a kid and read books, and then I took 26 years off, but looking for an opportunity,
It's
right?
funny.
To
Yeah.
just a quick 26-year break. Now I'm looking for an opportunity, kind of diversify assets. Try and put money away for my kids. I work in an entrepreneurial space, looking for something that I can enjoy. Come from a family of artists. I love the medium. Like, there's all these things that make me really like comics, and I'm reinvested because I love. Yeah, I watch the films with my kids. I watch the films with my brother,
Sure.
and stuff like that. And so now there's this re-interest in the characters, so I think the speculation on Marvel shows and stuff like that is more interesting because I think you get people who are invested in John Walker, right? Who care, prior to
I
prior
mean,
to
me and those guys, the old school guys, we laugh so much. Like these are dollar books. Like these are
right,
literally we laugh at these. Like West Coast Avengers first White Vision,
at
it was a
45.
dollar book. Like it's hilarious that these are like things now. The
Well, the whole West Coast Avengers run,
the
right?
whole
Like the
run is
whole
worthless. It was even number one, the four book miniseries, all of it. It was worthless, absolutely worthless. If I saw a long box of West Coast Avengers, I would be like not interested.
right.
Kitty
And now
Pryde
there's
Wolverine,
what
that
15
miniseries, I mean that's ridiculous. Those were like joke books, like 50 cents. Like here, take them. I don't want them.
yeah,
It's hilarious. The Scarlet Witch Vision, that miniseries, no, it's junk. Nobody wanted it. Now
yeah.
everything has value. It's crazy.
And then you're seeing, on the other hand, you're seeing things that probably should have had their due forever. So the Punisher miniseries, the Wolverine
Yeah,
four
that
part
yeah,
miniseries,
those
like
actually right. They're given some respect now. the Punisher miniseries definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a great first cover too.
There
But
was a
yeah,
interesting note I saw on Key Collector the other day about the disparity between the number one uh, Punisher miniseries, number of graded books or submissions to CGC versus the Wolverine miniseries.
yeah.
And Punisher is right now trailing the submissions or graded copies. Like it's like 1/8 or something crazy. The
I
number
think
of
if they, I
Wolverine.
know when they did the countdown of major characters, like even Wolverine was in the teens. He might
Yeah,
have been in the low single digits, like I mean the high single digits.
yeah,
But Punisher's way down there. Like
yeah.
Punisher, that's the reason why they still had the character for so long. Like Punisher's just wasn't wasn't well Wolverine, that's for sure.
Sure, it's incredible too.
Yeah,
Like, but like people who love Punisher, right? So
oh yeah.
like,
But
you
I
meet
know a
some,
lot of guys that because he was so morally gray,
yeah,
not even morally gray, like
yeah,
he'll just kill people. Like
yeah,
he'll just
right,
outright. He didn't like you, he'll just kill you.
right.
Like a
More in
lot
the
of people,
darkness than in the
yeah, a
light,
lot of
right?
people just. I know a lot of people are like I didn't read Punisher, and I didn't like his core values were just a little too skewed for me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it.
Because to some extent, he's a little more in that DC realm, right? Where it's like it's a gritty,
Yeah, I mean
dark
that Punisher
kind of
Max stuff is like, yeah,
pseudo
it's good
noir,
though.
right? Yeah.
It's really good.
So I do happen to have a book here that I really believe in. I think I think the first She-Hulk
It's a good
in
one.
the miniseries. I just think it's such a great book. I'm picking up
Affordable
whenever I
too.
see
Yeah.
on the you know.
Yep.
So this is my second newsstand copy. I think actually Jimmy has multiple newsstand copies as well. I just think it's such a cool cover.
It
I
is.
love kind of the tongue in cheek of it. Classic 80s. It's funny because I have not found the last issue in the series, which just plays off the first issue in the series. I haven't found that
We talked
that
about that
off.
last time. How
Yeah.
last issues in series are pretty good investments.
Incredible in those 90s books too, because the print runs just
Yeah, they're
fell
just
off.
very low printed. Yeah.
So
Yep.
so that's a book that I really believe in right now. Um, I think I also, a couple of properties that have kind of fallen by the wayside. So, if you can find the Dark Hawk books, like the early Dark Hawk books, I think, I know that people
If
were,
Vigilante gets a chance, why not Darkhawk?
yeah, right. I thought it was funny because like if people just thought it was hilarious that it jumped up in the first place, but then you watching some content creators, you realize how much there's some real fanboys of Darkhawk, and
I
so
think well,
now,
it started out as a Reddit meme where
yeah,
everybody was just making fun of Darkhawk, and then people were actually started buying Darkhawk. It's like that Jose Uribe 1990 Fleer card. Like that's what Darkhawk was. Darkhawk was just a joke, and then people started buying it. So then,
yeah,
because people started buying it, it started driving the price, and next thing you know, Darkhawk's a thing. Same with Sleepwalker. So like one kind of goes with the other. If Darkhawk does well, Sleepwalker is kind of in
it's
that
going to do it.
same
Right, yeah,
exactly. So and
yeah, and
that's another affordable one. You can get those for like $15, $10.
yeah, and
Sleepwalker
then
ones.
the other thing I really kind of I believe in right now, and I think you've already seen the huge pops on some of them, is just really any iconic early McFarlane covers. I think
Yeah.
Wolverine, or I'm sorry, Hulk 340 for years has been that way, but recently we've seen ASM 316 go off. Now, just in the last little bit, the super classic purple cover with Hulk busting through
Oh yeah.
through Hulk is spiking, and then look at what we're seeing with Spawn One, especially if you have Spawn One newsstand, just
So
because the
funny.
print run was
I know.
so low. And then the ASM, or I'm sorry, not the
That's
ASM,
one I
but
don't have. I don't have Spawn newsstand. I got plenty of just. I got so many of the other ones, but I don't have a newsstand.
yeah,
I don't have that Malibu either.
it'd be interesting to see what the disparity in count was for that.
For newsstands?
Uh, yeah, because I mean,
Yeah,
out of
especially
that
when you're
collection
talking
I
about what,
got,
approaching 4 million of Spawn ones.
right, in that
So
collection I got, which was like 99% newsstands, that book I got was not a newsstand, and
yeah,
that would have been a clutch book to have gotten in newsstand in
so
that.
that dude actually took a ride to a comic store to get that one because it wasn't at his spinner rack. That's kind of
They
funny.
didn't have it at the 7-Eleven. Yeah, he had to travel somewhere elsewhere in
Yep,
Delaware to pick that one up.
it's so
So
funny.
that was interesting, you know. So, and then you know, there's I think X-Men are going to cool off a little bit again. Uh,
Cool off to heat
the
up. It'll
the only
cool off to
caveat is
heat up.
people love X.
People
So
love X-Men. When I told you, like, what should I bring to the flea market? X-Men,
yeah,
Spider-Man. X-Men, Spider-Man. It sells all
yeah.
day long.
I mean, the funniest thing I got that Spider-Man tote out of the car.
Yeah.
Those, and I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
even
that's
get a
right.
chance to bag and board them. I was just selling them as soon as they.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys didn't
I
even
told you.
basically let me get the tote lid off. You know.
Spider-Man sells all day long. All right, let's go over this. This was pulls in the this releases this week. So this is what I picked
Okay.
up. So we got TMNT April O'Neil. I've been buying this whole series. The only one I don't have is Donatello because mine was like really badly damaged. But I've been getting this whole run. The last one was Casey Jones, I think. But they did all four Turtles, and they did Shredder, and then Splinter, and then Casey Jones, and now April O'Neil. So it's like the
Like
best
that
of.
cartoonish spot color
Yeah,
artwork on the.
right. Of course, still haven't started reading this. This is Bounty Hunters,
Sure.
and then
Now,
and
is that the Bounty Hunters property? Is that one of the crossovers in the Star Wars
that's
book, or
the
that's
crossover. Yeah. So this is the one where they had that run in between where it was Boba Fett had Han Solo's carbonite, and it was like him trying to get to Jabba's palace, and then all the bounty hunters trying to steal his loot, trying to
okay?
steal Han Solo. It's kind of cool run.
Okay, that is cool.
Yeah. So we got regular Star Wars number 18 is out this week. I got the black and white covers. I thought they looked nicer than the color ones. Strange Academy Presents. This is number 1, but Scotty Young. So we like everything Scotty Young.
Yeah.
Silver Coin number 6. Very nice. Over here.
Now those are every issue is a new story, right?
I think so. There's another one
Like
I
a
haven't read, but I like the
Twilight.
horror stuff, so.
Yeah.
This one, I haven't had it in me to cancel this, but Radiant Black I think it's number 9. Number 9.
Cool cover.
It is a cool cover. And that's, you know what, that sells me more than anything. I love cool covers. I can just look at a wall of comics. I was like, I like that. I don't even know what's in
And
it, but I like it.
that book became a key. All white front, all black back. Like
Yeah.
that'd be a tough book.
Right. This is cool too. I love their artwork. Out of Body, number 5.
right.
But their cover art has been so cool, so colorful.
Who's the
This-
publisher on that?
That is Aftershock.
Okay.
And this one is, I don't know anything about this, but it was a number 1. Comics Ahoy. Ahoy Comics. My Bad number 1. Apparently, I think this was on Key Collector, but I had subbed to it anyway. I gotta go through my previews and see what I'm grabbing next. This was another new one. Chip Zdarsky, Newburn, number 1. Don't know much about it. There's a lot I gotta read, man. I'm still reading my Ed Brubaker Daredevil. I still have like half of the last trade left. The Me You Love in the Dark, number 4. This is another Image book that I've been buying. I haven't read it yet. I just wait for the trades to come out. Like, I finally got my Stray Dogs trade and read that in like 2 minutes. That was awesome. I loved it. And now I'm getting my Department of Truth. I think I just got the second trade. I have to read that now.
Image is crushing it with super long titles too,
I
right?
love Image anyway. I really don't buy much Marvel and DC anymore. I buy a lot of Image, a lot of independent stuff. Magic Order 2. So this is like number 1, but I think it's Mark Millar. or Mark Miller. I don't know how everybody says it. I say Mark Millar. I think I've been told Miller.
I've heard Millar too. Yeah, more often than
Yeah,
anything.
I don't know. This one is the Joker. This is the puzzle box one, but this is the was it the $5.99 cover instead of the $4.99 cover?
That is a messed up cover, man.
Yeah, nice scarecrow though.
Yeah, it's cool scarecrow.
This is a new one, the Human Target. I love this cover. #1 for DC. Great cover.
Yeah.
I don't know about Tom King, but whatever. Haven't been a fan of his. Gun Honey. Got to get these Gun Honeys.
Well, that'll make good fodder for future for that dude at the flea market.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Still haven't even touched Firepower yet. I have, what is it, 17 now? I haven't even started reading this. It's Kirkman, so I'll definitely read it at some point. Black Caravan, I always buy these whenever they show up in the store. They're great covers. Fantastical Crimes Unit. I love these covers, and they always grade nice because it's really good quality paper.
Yeah, what is that, like a matte finish cardstock?
It's a matte finish cardstock. They all come like this, and they're great books. But yeah.
Cool.
A Thing Called Truth. I don't even know. This is issue 1. I don't know what this is about. No idea. Thing Called Truth. But we bought it. Amazing Fantasy 4. These are kind of cool. Trying to do a Death Dealer.
Yeah, Frazetta cover.
Storm with Captain America's shield. It's pretty cool. That Frazetta cover's been stolen so many. That's just the Marvel catalog. And this is King Spawn.
Maybe, that recently was, I kind of, that there's a number of books I want to find, like, kind of in the wild, right? I want to finally find my
Secret. Put it out there. If anybody comes across a Secret Wars 8, that's your guy.
I want to find my Secret Wars 8 in the wild. The other night I want to find an early Vampirella magazine.
Yeah.
For Jimmy in the wild. I'd like to find.
I just pressed the #1. I told you that.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had it in my hands. Like, I want this so bad. They're not cheap. I looked them up again. They're really not cheap.
No, they're not cheap in any way, shape, or form. But it'd be cool to find that in an old collection because they're pretty high quality stock, right, on those older magazines. So, or is it a thin paper? Is it
it was a hardy enough paper where I was able to burnish it, so it was a little thicker than your typical, like, you get those Marvel magazines back then. That's when Marvel was really cheaping up, so it's like thin paper. That Vampirella is a bit thicker, so like I said, I burnished it because there was a lot of like wet water damage and it was all wrinkled up, but I flattened it out pretty good. It responds well to moisture. King Spawn, I love this one.
Yeah, I mean, he's
got a little Cap, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
It's crazy, right? The Spawn resurgence in the last year and a half is crazy.
Yep. This is another one I'm sub to, but I haven't read a single one. Is it Inkblot #13? I have the whole run though. I don't know anything about it. It's like one of those ones that I just forget to unsubscribe to, but I was like, this is kind of fun. Batman 116, I have no idea why I have this. I'm still sub to it. I shouldn't be. I just can't. DC's playing games. It's like a new team or a new character in every single issue, just trying to sell comics, and it's just so fake to me. And then Lucky Devil #4. That's it. That's it for the pull list this week. I got to go through my previews. I don't know. All right, let's do the pick of the week.
All right.
Shall we do my pick of the week, or you want to do yours first?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Go for it.
All right. So my pick of the week, I have it written down. I love that Marvel keeps using this character over and over again. I love that they haven't forgotten about him, and I love that it's always the same person who acts as him. It is Adventure into Fear #19, the first appearance of Howard the Duck.
Okay.
It's still a sub $100 book in mid-grade. Like, you can still pick these up. And I feel like they're always gonna use Howard the Duck. Like they're always gonna like sprinkle him in there. I think one day he'll get his own show, his own TV show. I don't know if he'll get a full feature, but he'll definitely get a TV show. I think Howard the Duck is a good buy. At let's see, I have 6.0s are going for like 180. That's slab 6.0s, but I think you can get them raw for probably the $100 range. But that one's a good one. I think that's really underpriced.
Okay. I think I mean I already showed it, but I think my pick of the week is Sensational She-Hulk #1 from '88.
Yeah, show that one
know,
again. It's a
as we get closer to the show, it seems more and more likely that the kind of the theme or the narrative is going to be more this kind of comedy or
yeah,
almost like this tongue in cheek, and that's kind of where the character started on this run, and then they did that, continuing moving forward.
Yeah, they're
so
taking the humor route with that one, and that run plays right into it.
Yeah, and I just think it's such a great book. It's still not that expensive, like you said. It's still like a $20 book in kind of high grade raw. I think the newsstand is like a $25 or $30 book in high grade raw, and so I think it's plus what a great cover, right? If you were to get that slabbed, that color looks great on the wall. It's just super cool artwork too.
Like
and a lot
varnish
of cool
on a painting.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
it makes it pop right out.
So I think if I start doing pick of the week, they're never going to be more than like $30 books because that's what
That's
what
fine
I'm
though,
always.
man. Because if I'm going $100 books, then we need a sub $20 book in there.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we got a little something for everybody.
I'll fill that void.
All right, cool. All right, what do you say? You want to send this one off?
Yeah, let's do it. So hopefully next week, folks, I'll have a little stack from my weekend excursion.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll just be sad. I'll just I'll just let you guys know how much I spent on gas.
Just be a bummer. That'd be cool. Yeah. Good luck, man.
Cool. Thanks.
I have a couple things coming in the mail, so I have definitely a teaser. I have another thing coming from the UK.
Okay, exciting. I mean, knowing you, I already know what that is.
Yeah, you know what I like, so you know what's
coming.
It's so funny that we've talked about this when you're hunting for a book for a long time, and then a second one just comes right after it. It's like It's so funny how that happens. Like I've been looking for this book for so long, and then the second one appeared for like $200, and I was like, okay,
right. Or you finally bite the bullet and you spend, like, let's say it's a $1,000 book. You finally bite the bullet. You find a nice copy for $800.
Yeah.
You're feeling real good about yourself,
So
and then the next week you find one for $50 that's a little nicer than the $800 one. You're
that's
like,
what happened with Thrawn. Same thing happened with Thrawn. I spent a lot for a high grade, and then another one comes along that's like a 9.2, and I was like, all right, I might as well get a second one.
Right, exactly. So cool.
All right, man.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, we'll look forward to next week. Hopefully we get some good stuff.
All right, take care, everybody.
All right, brother.
See ya.
Later.